such a beautiful morning in Cardiff, South Wales. I'm sure it's really nice where you are too, because the UK's weather has got a good forecast today. So we're going to have a really nice, it's slow but it's deep. We are going to concentrate on ourselves as bodies of light and energy, as opposed to bodies of mind and the flesh and form of the body. So I want you to step into that place of light and energy, and we will do this with the help of the chakra system, the 7 chakra system. So initially we're going to take a quiet seat and come into our practice. So sitting up in a nice poised seated position. So the spine is long, the sit bones are pressing down to the heels. You might be on a chair if your knees are not good, and that's perfectly fine. I'd rather you were comfortable as we step into the yoga space than struggling with your body if you feel a bit stiff. So I am sitting just initially on a little block which is under my bottom and pressing on my heels. As I start to warm up and my body becomes a little freer, I can sit back on my heels. So as it's morning and I haven't had a hatha yoga practice yet, I am taking the nice option of sitting back on a block, and you could be sitting on a cushion. So this frees the spine to rise up. It allows the ribs to have space to expand and allows the diaphragm to rise and fall with the breath. And I invite you to just close your eyes, soften your face, soften the front body, shoulders are down, spine is long. I invite you to just step into your yoga practice space. So leaving your evening, your night behind, maybe the excitement of Wales winning, always a good time. Easing your way into your day. We come into our yoga practice space inside the body, inside the mind, inside the breath. So letting everything else soften and blur as your conscious focus comes inside. So noticing sensations in the body, what you feel, how have you woken up, what's going on for you in the body. Allowing a few moments quiet time to settle down, quieten down for your practice. This is an active practice of stepping into your yoga space. It's a conscious practice. It's active in the sense that you know you are doing it. You are consciously doing it, stepping in to your yoga practice space. Eyes can be closed, face can be soft, tongue can be liberated from the upper or lower palate, not pressing the tip against the teeth, allowing the tongue to feel relaxed, no pressure in the throat or the jaw. Lips can be slightly parted. Spine is rising up from the tailbone, all the way up the lumbar, the thoracic, the cervical spine, right up the neck to the back of the skull. crown of the skull, the crown of the head, reaching upwards energetically. And our practice today is going to be concentrating on rising the energy up from the earth, from the root chakra, from our seat of existence, all the way through the chakra system to the crown and beyond, to our higher consciousness. Lifting us up, helping us grow, helping us evolve and expand to be the best human being we can be. So as you breathe in, energetically rising up, almost a minuscule back bend as the chest opens, the heart lifts, the shoulders soften. You feel a tiny opening in the thoracic area. And as you breathe out, not a collapsing, a releasing of the belly back towards the spine, almost a subtle, a really sort of subtle inference of a forward bend. So as you breathe in, spine lengthens, chest opens, heart lifts, collarbones spread, shoulders soften down, and there's a tiny indication you could back bend. And as you breathe out, gentle contraction of the belly, no collapsing the spine stays straight. And again, almost an indication of a forward fold. Let's try that one more time. So breathing in, filling up the lungs from lower to upper, breathing out, emptying the lungs lower to upper, a slight indication of a forward fold. Let that practice go now. Bring your hands together at your heart. Blink your eyes open and come into the practice. We're going to start today with a simple pranayama. Prana, life force, cosmic energy that connects us to our higher consciousness, that gives us life force to live and to sustain our energy, not just physical energy, energy through the mind, the emotions, the spirit, the body. And we bring that prana in primarily on the wave of the breath, on the flow of the breath. It's very central to a holistic, whole person yoga practice. If we're not centering the breath in our practice, we are just doing some stretching, which is nice, but it's not yoga. Okay, so we're going to do a 6-6 sukha rhythm. Sukha means sweet or easy or accessible. We're going to breathe in for 6 and out for 6. We're doing 9 rounds. We really want to calm the system down, get the energy flowing before we do our physical chakra postures. So close your eyes, sit tall. You can just hold your hands gently in a yoga mudra, just, one hand on top of the other, in a cup form. Make sure that you feel a sense of the spine rising up and the sit bones rooting to the earth, or knees rooting to the earth, however you're sitting. You might be cross-legged if that's the only way you can sit, that's fine. Let's breathe out together. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't grasp, smoothly in through the nostrils. And out. Remember the form of maybe elongating the spine, breathing in. And out. in. Let the belly fill, let the lungs fill up lower to higher. Breathe out. Slight contraction of the belly to support the lower back and empty the lungs. 3 more rounds. Breathing in. 4 actually. And out. Concentrate on the in. Concentrate on the out. We do 2 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do 1 more for luck. Breathing in. Big breath in. And breathing out. Drop the hands on the thighs. With your eyes closed, just notice the quality of your mind, quality of the breath. Sitting like this might be a challenge for you. If you're new to Vajrasana, which is the posture I'm in now, which is brilliant for meditation and pranayama, you may need to start off with a few cushions under your bottom or a few blocks or even a bolster, and slowly week by week you try and bring the bottom down, and it will help to stretch the thighs gradually, because you know the quads can be tight. So we're coming into Shoshankasana. So come up on your knees. If you need pads, please bring them. I like people not to torture themselves, to make an effort, but torture is not part of yoga. If you are torturing yourself, you are not practicing yoga, okay? But we make an effort. Okay, so we're coming into all fours. Breathe in here, look forward. And breathing out, bringing the bottom, the sit bones down to the heels. And we can extend our arms. I just want you to stretch your spine. And as I said, I haven't practiced Hatha Yoga yet this morning, so I need to stretch the same as you. I'm bringing my head to my block initially. Or you could be bringing it to your hands, your fists could be like this. Whatever works for you. Let's just stretch our spine. Just along the whole of the length of the backbone. Let the head drop down. Let the neck feel free. Bring your attention to your breath. As you breathe in, the belly is going to rise, and as you breathe out, you're going to slowly contract, not aggressively. And see if that gives you more space. We're doing 6 breath, 3 times. So breathe out together. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just release the practice of the breath. Come up onto the fingertips. Really stretch from the armpits to the fingertips. Let the head hang down. Maybe it reaches the floor, maybe it doesn't. That's not an issue. Breathe in, look up. And we're just going to give ourselves a little side stretch for the right rib. So I'm creeping my hands towards the left. Just stretching along the right side of my body. My head can come as close to the floor as it can, but I'm not aiming for the floor, it's just where it is. Breathe in, come forward, And just softly down one more time before we breathe in. Look forward and come to the right with the hands. And stretching the left side. So you might be a bit stiff. I'm a little stiff because I was walking a long way yesterday and I was a little bit stiff by the end. And then of course Wales was on, so I couldn't do any yoga. Wales rugby was my yoga yesterday. Okay, and head down. So breathe in, come onto all fours. I'm going to turn around. So come onto all fours. And we're starting with the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. So you're thinking of your tailbone, your coccyx, the pelvic floor area, the perineum area for the energy of this chakra. So in this posture, Swadisthana, which is an all fours posture, we have our hips over our knees, and you've probably done it a million times if you practice yoga regularly, but I want you to take a different approach. I want you to think of the energy and the chakra at the root, drawing the energy all the way up through the whole system, through the middle channel of the system to the crown. And the actual way we breathe and move the spine helps this, okay, helps all the nerve plexus, and it'll help us focus on the direction of the energy. So I am pressing through my fingers, my knuckles, my palm, not my wrists. I'm pressing tops of my feet into the floor, and my weight is slightly forward. I'm not behind, okay, I'm slightly forward. I'm going to breathe in and lift that tailbone. I lift the tailbone, I start stretching through the pelvis, the belly, yes, then to the heart, then I lift my head, okay, so the throat, third eye, I can be looking towards the space between my brows, and as I breathe out, I'm drawing that tailbone in, I'm rounding. I'm really pushing through the hands, I'm opening up the shoulders. So this is the way we're going to practice it, okay? We're doing this a total of 6 times. So we will really mobilize the spine here, as well as thinking of the root chakra, sending the energy all the way through the system towards the crown. So let's try together. Again, the count will be of 6. I'll count the first round. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Tailbone lifts, belly drops down. You stretch through the manipur, you stretch through the heart, the throat. Breathe out, pressing the hands into the floor. Breathe in, tailbone leads. Use the tailbone, thinking of the energy from the root, the strong seat of your existence, drawing up through the whole body. Breathing out. Breathing in. Press through the fingers so you don't get pain in the wrists. Open up. Breathing out. 2 more. If you feel it's too much for the wrist, you can come on to the fists, okay? So for the last 2, you might do that. Breathing in. And breathing out. The last one here. Breathe in. Tailbone lifts. It's deliciously slow, okay? We don't have to rush it. We need to just let things take their time. We're looking up, I'm stretching my throat, I'm looking towards my third eye in between my brow. I'm breathing out. So it's stronger because we're taking more time and we're holding the posture for longer, and we're concentrating on the energy. So you can come back into Shoshankasana. Maybe you want to come into Shoshankasana, bring your hands behind so you can curl into a little ball. That might be where you are. And just let the body relax, let the head come down. Contemplating that you are a body of energy and light. You are more than the component parts of matter and secretions and water and air. Okay. Just enjoy the fact that you're letting go. Take time to let go. Breathe in and come up. Just notice. Take a sip of water before we go on to the next chakra, the Swadisthana, which is in between the reproduction organs and the belly button, you know, in this pelvic region. This is the seat of the self. It's also the seat of creativity and reproduction and all those things, which I go into detail in my classes on Monday evening. But for now, we're thinking of the energy in that area for the next posture. So we started at the root and we're working our way up. We start with a good foundation. This time we're coming into Bhujangasana. So just so that we get into it without strain and strife, we're just going to do a few kriya, a little movement with the breath. So I'm going to come back into Shoshankasana and stretch, head down. I'm going to breathe in, hold my fingers as though the mat is coming towards me, and I'm going to just come forward, okay? I'm coming back and forth. So slowly, with the breath, I'm breathing in to come forward, okay? And I'm breathing out to go back. Just one more time like that. Being kind, being gentle, concentrating on the energy and light as opposed to the human matter. And coming back, and again, just give yourself a really nice, in the Dharmaka asana, okay? The wonderful asana where we become humble, we become small. Okay, I just need to make sure you can see me, because it's so light here. I think I'm a silhouette, but hopefully you can see me okay. That's fine. So I'm just going to bring my mat a bit like this. Okie dokie. So I would like you to come onto your knees. Make sure they're well padded, as I say, if you've got sore knees. Okay. And bring yourself into the floor. Okay, so come all the way down. You come all the way down first of all. And I'm going to wiggle back a little bit. And see if you can keep your legs together as much as possible. If you have a lower back issue and it seems to pinch it more with the legs together, then do the sensible thing and have them apart. But for people who are not having an issue there, the closer your legs are, the better. Don't grip your buttocks. We're going to keep the pubic bone on the floor. Some people will have the navel on the floor, some people won't. It depends on anatomy, on how much curve you can get in your thoracic spine as well. So hands are more or less under my shoulders. And I'm going to breathe in and rise up. So I'm softening my elbows, okay? I'm softening my elbows. My shoulders are down, they're not hunched, not like this. So this is the in breath, and this is the out breath. We're doing 6-6 again, I'm just demonstrating. Now you may have a problem with Bhujangasana, you don't like it, or you have stiffness in the back or stiffness in the neck. The further forward you hold your arms, the less the curve is, okay, the less the back bend is. So you may have to have your hands out in front, or you may even feel that for you, Sphinx is enough, with your elbows in front of your wrists, more or less under the shoulders, because this is still, you know, going to give you benefits. So you need to choose yourself, okay? When you come back down from Sphinx, it can be quite challenging to come back down with the elbows tucked in, okay? But so you can maybe move them out a little bit if that's your issue. So let's do 3 rounds of the Bhujangasana, working on our chakra system and rising the energy up. Hands just in front of the shoulders, I would say. Elbows are tucked in. The in-breath fills up the belly, the lungs pushing you up. Breathing in. Breathing out slowly. You come down slowly. It's a count of 6, remember. It's quite difficult for me to count and speak and do this posture, so I'm just going to say in and out, all the way down. I'm going to do 3, then another 3 after a break. Breathing in, almost pulling the mat towards you. Try not to grip the buttocks. Elbows are in, they're not here. They're not straight either. There's a micro bend. Breathing out. This is good for anyone who's hunched over a machine all day as well. You need to open that thoracic area. Please breathe in, thinking of the energy coming from the root up to the Swadisthana, up. You can feel it in the belly, you can feel it in the heart, you can feel it in the throat. You can again gaze towards your brow center and breathing out. Slowly, control it. Now as you come down, you're going to crocodile, so open the feet, bring the hands under the forehead or the cheek and rest. We're operating on a system of spanda, hispanda. So spanda is to stretch, hispanda is to let go. So we stretch, don't strain. Stretch, don't strain. Notice the blood running back into the back, the lower back. We'll do 3 more. Legs together, bum soft. Try not to grip the bum. Hands can come under the shoulders if that's good for you, or slightly in front. Elbows in. Head down. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bringing that energy all the way up. Thinking of the middle system from the root up to the crown. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Land. Take a pause breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pause breath if you need it. Breathing in. Remember, we're rising up the energy from the root to the Swadisthana, up through the solar plexus, to the heart, the throat, to the third eye, through the crown. Thinking of that chain of events. It's like dominoes. It's links in a chain. And all the way back out. And bring the hands under like a pillow. Feet can come out slightly. Enjoy the breaks in between, where you totally let go. You're not jumping into the next thing. So the next one, I'm just going to sit up, is Cochlear, which means we lift the knees off the floor. So you can do it with the backs of the feet flat on the floor, or you can tuck the toes, okay? So it's not chaturanga with the arms bent. The arms are in a kind of cobra position, but the knees are off the floor, so it's more challenging. So if anybody feels it's not for them, keep the knees on the floor. Perfectly fine. it's perfectly fine to do that. Okay? So we'll just do a little Shoshankasana before we go back down to make sure the spine is being bent in both ways. Or not bent, but you know, flexed in both ways. So come back onto the heels and stretch out. Let the head come down. Soften the shoulders. No strain there. Breathe in here, look forward and come forward. So you're going to bring, again, the belly on the floor. So what can be handy, you can keep the knees on the floor for this, as I've said. If you do have lower back issues, I quite often ask people with lower back issues to do the Bhujangasana, the Cochlear Pose, with the toes tucked anyway, because it's not quite as an acute compression on the spine, okay? But we are going to see if we can either tuck the toes or flat the toes to come into what they call Cochlear Pose, okay? So breathing in here. I'm going to rise up. Okay, so obviously the arms are straight now, but I'm trying not to hunch my shoulders. And breathing out, you come down. And you can obviously bend your elbows in to come down and come all the way down. We're just doing that 3 times. It's a bit more challenging. Okay. So I'm breathing in, I'm rising up and sorting my arms out, and then I'm lengthening through. I'm keeping my legs tucked. Some people like to keep their legs flat like this. Okay, depends. I'm breathing out, slowly coming down. And take a breath here. We're going to come up one more time. I'm tucking my toes, keep the knees down if you need to. So as I'm doing it, I'm breathing in, I'm coming up, then as soon as I feel my arms are strong enough, I'm lifting. I'm thinking of the energy from the tailbone, the root chakra, all the way up to my crown. And softly down. And release. Open the legs, bring the hands under. You need to rotate your wrists a little, that's good. Do so. And just notice how you feel. Notice what's opening up for you. What's opening in the sort of center channel where all of these wheels of energies are working. What's happening there? Not just along the spine, but in the center channel of your whole being. I'm going to come up. I need a drink before we do the next asana. So take a sip of water. Really important when we're working with yoga, well, anything physical, anyway, to keep hydrated, because, you know, muscles, connective tissue, discs in the vertebrae, bones, everything needs to be hydrated. Although a myofascia, or they become hard, become more brittle, more tendency for injury. So keep hydrated. So we're moving up towards the heart with Meru Asana. So please come forward onto all fours. All of these practices can be done in a chair, or you can use a chair as a prop. If you have sore knees, you might have a stronger practice even because you don't put the knees on the floor. Okay, so tuck the toes, breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, lift the knees and come back. You might get the feet all the way to the floor, you might not, but don't worry about it. You can pedal out the legs initially. Keep the head low, looking through the feet. Press the hands away as opposed to down. You need the connection through the palms to the tailbone, but you don't want to be bearing down on your wrists. You are pushing away through the fingers. My triceps are rotated as though I am holding eggs under my armpits. Now let's just settle into the posture for a moment. Bringing the energy up from the tailbone to the heart. Breathing in and out slowly. We're going to breathe in, look forward and come down. And we're going to do that again. So we'll do it 3 times with the count of 6 now. So I'm kind of trying to demonstrate first how we're going to approach it. And then we'll take the 3 rounds of 6. Bring your hands behind if you need to. Rotate the wrists if you need to. Whatever you need to do. Breathe in, hands down, come forward. Make sure you feel as though you are hip distance apart with knees, shoulder distance apart with hands. Breathe in here. Breathe out and lift those knees and come back. Now you're going to breathe in for 6 here. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if you can get the tailbone higher, the thighs further back. Head is nice and comfortable. And breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last round. In, fill up the lungs. And out. Pull the belly back slightly. Pull the belly back so you can get the abdomen closer to the thighs. Hold it back. Breathe in, come forward. Knees come down. And you can rest. Bring the hands behind if you feel the hands need to rest and take the pressure off. Let the shoulders curl round, the knees. Then come into Shoshankasana so you can feel the energy in your back body. Notice what's going on in the center of your body, all the way from the root up as far as the heart. How does that feel? Just rest there a moment. Just take your time. Okay. Come into all fours, please. Tuck the toes. Breathe in here. And lift the knees on the out breath. With your left foot down if you can, or it can be on the toes if you have tight calves or hamstrings. Breathe in and raise the right leg as high as you can. Head comes towards the floor. Breathing out, you're going to bring your knee between your hands. Maybe the heel of the right foot is under your perineum. Maybe this is where you're going to balance. Now, I have a dodgy left knee, and because I've extended my leg, I need to make sure my mat's in the right place. Okay? So, seeing if you can really extend the left leg back. Maybe you can come into just a kind of an arch with the back. Fingers can be on the floor. Maybe they can be in Namaskar Mudra. Few breaths there. And actually, just get my head in the right place. And hands down. Now I want you to tuck the back toe, okay? Hands are flat on the floor, tuck the back toe. You're going to lift yourself up and bring the leg back up. And bring it down. Come to your knees and take whatever relaxation pose you like. Some people like to come into Shoshankasana, some people like to come back here. into the Dharmika pose. Where we prostrate ourselves. We recognize we are not the bee's knees. And come up. Breathe in and out of the knees, and up you come. See if you can maybe get the heels towards the floor, but don't worry if it doesn't happen. You can bend the knees maybe, that can help some people. Bend the knees. Breathe in here, lift the left leg. Lift it as high as you can, look back. Maybe the right foot comes to the floor to give you Achilles a nice stretch and the calves. Then bring the left knee forward. Now, I found the other knee more challenging because I was having to balance on my left knee, which is my core knee. Okay, so you guys have got to do what's best for you. So my heel is more or less under my perineum. And of course that means when you stretch up, you're having a little arch here. Okay, so do whatever feels good. If this just feels good like this, then that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. If you feel you want to come with your hands at Namaskar to the heart, calm the mind, calm the breath. And bring it down. And tuck the back leg here. And bring the left leg up so it gets a nice stretch. And bring the foot down. Bring your knees down. And come into a beautiful, maybe you can get your bum really onto those heels now, and a really nice long spine. Drop the head, let the neck relax. Take a few more breaths like that. Really enjoying the letting go. So important to enjoy the letting go. It reminds you that we can let go. We don't always have to be in 4th, 5th, 6th gear. There comes a time when we need to slow it all down. Okay, we're just going to do one more kriya. Please come into all fours. And this time, we're going to lift up the right leg and bend it. So if we look over bend the right knee. If we look over our left shoulder, yeah, we can see the right foot. And our out breath is bringing to the left elbow. So we are cutting diagonally across the body, okay? We're doing it 3 on each side, and we're doing it again with the count of 6. When I'm talking, I'm actually practicing, demonstrating at the same time. Occasionally it's challenging for me to count every time because I need to do my own breath, okay? So if you get it into the system that nearly always when you're working with me, it's in 6 and out 6 if we're working slowly and mindfully. If we're doing vinyasa and all those things, it can be different, okay? But as a general rule of thumb, 6-6 is what I use, okay? So breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, squeeze it, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out. And bring it back. And come back onto your heels and maybe shake out your hands if you're feeling you're doing a lot on the hands today. So making sure, I have about a 10-minute video on YouTube about how to release the wrists and to strengthen them. If you're interested, that's up there under Go Slow Yoga. Okay. And the other side, left leg. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. So you can lift the knee up high and out. Across. And bring it down and come to relax. In Bhujangasana, I'm choosing, you can choose whichever you like. And if you choose Bhujangasana, it can be really nice to imagine you're having almost a rebirth every time you come out of it, like a baby being born, because the head crowns here and comes up just like a baby. So you lift up the head, chin, and you come back. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of work for stretching the feet, which also then has a correlation with the cranial nerves and will help us to focus and bring the energy up the throat to the third eye, the Anya Chakra. Vishuddha Chakra is the throat, then the Anya Chakra is the third eye, and then the Sahasrara is the crown. So, if you have sore feet and you can't stretch the feet, and it takes practice, I can tell you, I never found this easy. Come onto the tips of the toes, or just where you can bend the toes for your stretch. Some people can get all of their toes on the floor. I can't get my little one somehow. And come to sit on the heels. Okay? We're just going to bring the hands to the heart. If you can't sit on the toes, just bring the feet flat. You're going to breathe in and come to Anjali Mudra. Look up to your higher consciousness, your higher perspective. Bring it to the crown. Bring it to the third eye. Bring it to the throat. And bring it back to the heart. Now your feet might be screaming at this time. So come forward and let the feet come back. Now I'm going to ask you, and I'll turn my back to the camera for a moment, to bring your left foot over your right. So the left foot comes over the right and you sit back, okay? Puts a little bit of pressure, stretches the feet, give it a good reflexology session without having to pay for one, okay? So left foot is coming over the right sole. This can be tricky for people with knee issues, so you have to do the practice that suits you in this particular moment. And just notice how this stretches the left ankle, the what is it called, the top arch? I forget all the time. Is that the instep? Stretches from the ankle across there, you can feel it. If it's too intense, come out. It takes practice. Just breathing softly through it, you can bring the hands to the heart. And coming forward, bounce out the feet so that they get released. And then you're bringing your right foot over the left. Okay, so the right foot comes, the top of the right foot comes across the sole, the sort of instep of the left. And then when you feel you're okay, if your knees are okay, if your thighs are okay, you can sit back. And that might be a very different sensation. With the first one, I feel it's stretching my outside left ankle. With this one, because I have tenderness on one foot underneath, where if you look at the reflexology chart where the kidneys are, because I've got slightly sensitive kidneys, I feel, not a pain as such, but I know it's almost like when you need a massage, So a couple of breaths there. This is really good as well for varicose vein, for circulation into the legs, problems with the feet. It's a challenging practice initially. Some people don't have any challenge. I did when I started. And come back to the tips of the toes. We just do this one more time before we come into relaxation. You will be glad afterwards. Honestly, I promise. You might think, oh my God. But I shouldn't actually project my experience onto you. I felt, oh my God. You might think, what's she on about? Okay, hands to the heart. Your heart chakra. Breathing quietly and calmly. Calming the mind, calm body. Calming the breath, calm mind, calming the mind, calm body. Breathe in here. Anjali Mudra. You can look up, stretch if you like to. Down to your crown, Kailash Mudra. Into your third eye, your intuition, your inner wisdom. What you know but what you don't say. To your throat, your center of communication, and your heart. Center of your love, your feelings, your emotions. And come back down. Bounce up the feet. And sit back on the knees for just one moment. Close your eyes. You need to rub your feet, sit on your bottom cross-legged, give your feet a rub. I think flat-footedness seems to be a thing of this generation. I have 5 kids, grown-up adults, 20s, they're in their 20s, one's in his 30s. I think 3 of them are flat feet, and I'm like, what is all that about? You know, I've been walking around for 61 years, I don't have flat feet. So I'm giving them these practices which they are like, oh my God, that hurts. Well, just do it slowly and carefully and mindfully. The body will respond. The body can respond in a miraculous way. If I can do it at 61, I'm sure they can have a go. Okay, so come into your Shavasana. You can have your legs up on a chair, up the wall. You can have something under your knees. Or you can be lying down in corpse pose, pure Shavasana pose. Allowing yourself to enjoy the sensation of letting go. Your practice is done. Slightly different approach to the practice. Maybe challenged your mind, maybe challenged your patience. What came up for you? Did anything come up for you? Or were you enjoying the slow pace, the mindful approach to holding certain postures and noticing the energy that they create? I am here every Sunday, 9:30, either in the flesh or I make a video or I post a video. It's in line with my yoga therapy course, which I am really enjoying. And I take the approach of sharing yoga practices that can really be applied as a therapy, depending what the needs are. So lying in Shavasana, heavy bones, soft flesh, natural breath coming in and out. I invited you to consider yourself as a body of light and energy. Light and energy as opposed to a body of matter, water, air, bones, the earth, the blood, the secretions. All of those things keep our body together. That's who we are in this form on earth. But we are much more than that. We are energetic beings. I'm working with the chakra system, the pure energy that exists in us as well as in the cosmos. Looking at it as a unity for us, not something that we are above and beyond. We're not above it or beyond it. We are an element in the cosmic energy. So I thought it would be really nice, because it's such a beautiful day, while you're in relaxation, just allowing the body to recover, to enjoy, to imbibe the practice. Spring is in the air. It is a new beginning. COVID, thank the Lord, is in decline in most instances. We have yet to be mindful, we have yet to be sensible, but it looks as though we are going to be able to enjoy our family and friends this summer, which is a huge relief and blessing. We need to connect, we need to hold, we need to see people's eyes sparkle and smiles broaden. We need to support and dry people's tears, all those things. So I feel that it's St. David's Day tomorrow as well, which is wonderful. I feel it's like a new beginning. So I'm going to read a poem from my very, very favourite poet, writer of blessings, writer of affirmation, John O'Donoghue, and I've referred to him lots of times. So this is for a new beginning. So as you rest there and just enjoy your letting go. For a new beginning. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness grow inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the grey promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Through and though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desires. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses that the world awaits you. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, just invite a more enlivening breath into the body, into the system. Maybe a clear, deep breath. I feel a lot of space in me now. So hopefully you do too. You can have a really nice deep breath. And maybe you want to elongate the out breath, getting rid of any residual tension, stress. Then draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a comforting rock from side to side, or maybe you like to rock forward and back, massaging the spine. And come to a seated position whenever you feel ready. Just close your eyes gently for one last time. And draw your hands together. And on this beautiful day, let's all enjoy the sunshine as much as we can, get out as much as we can within whatever limitations are now prevalent, because I've lost track. And thank you very much for practicing with me. It's been a lovely start to a Sunday morning. I've enjoyed the practice. Thank you guys. Namaste.